Welcome back to yet another EToH video, the last of this series. Today, I will be explaining every catastrophic tower in EToH. Enjoy the video. As mentioned in the last three videos, the name at the top is the person who wrote the explanation. So this time, we're going to start with Bonhomie, who wrote Tower of Augmented Misery, which is a baseline catastrophic tower located in Ring 9 and was made by French in 04 and 1 Kalia. It was added on April 22nd, 2021, and received a nerf on August 10th of that same year. This is an ascending tower with a lot of button progress that helps complement the length of the tower. Most of the tower is consistent in difficulty, but the three outsides on floor 4, 8, and 10 are major choke points and should be practiced. The punishment is fairly normal, and sight readability is not bad if you are very good at the game. The tower is very long, being over 30 minutes in length, but runs can last longer if you have lots of button progress. Floors 8 and 10 are the most difficult because of their punishing outsides and length. Floors 1 and 7 are widely regarded as the easiest, but Bonhomie himself says floor 3. The tower is great to do as a first catastrophic, even though some consider it to be terrifying. I, myself, also consider it to be terrifying, even though I've barely played it. I only got to like floor 4. Towers like Tower of Triple W or Tower of Uncanny Agony are good to do before it. Towers like Tower of Generation Failure or Tower of Descent into Exile are good towers to do after to increase your skill. And that is Tower of Augmented Misery, the first Cata tower. Tower of Generation Failure is a bottom-low catastrophic located in Ring 8 made by Theodoric. It was added on July 8th, 2020. This tower was the first ever in-game catastrophic to be beaten. Outside of the game was unnerfed Tower of Astronomically Aimless Annoyances, and yeah. Basically, it wasn't the first ever Cata tower to be beaten, but it was the first in-game, and I'm pretty sure it is still the most beaten catastrophic tower in the whole game. It is an ascending tower, and has lots and lots of cylinders and spheres, which tend to lead to some pretty unfair fails. In terms of sight readability, it is not sight readable. You would definitely need a practice run. In terms of punishment, it is also pretty punishing, as there are multiple GBJs and outsides, especially later on in the tower. If you fail floor 8 and above, you're gonna get insta-killed. That's just how it is. Large choke points in the tower include difficult jumps on the end of floor 6 and floor 9 outside. The tower is 45 to 75 minutes long, depending if you loop fail or not. The hardest floor is floor 6. That is not arguable. That is set in stone. It is floor 6. I'm pretty sure everyone agrees. And the easiest is floor 1. The floor difficulties are not consistent. Towers recommended to do before this are Tower of Alien Radiance, Tower of Wildly Wacky Wonders, and Tower of Uncanny Agony. Towers recommended to do after this are Tower of Augmented Misery, Tower of Descent into Exile, and Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns. And that is Tower of Generation Failure. Speaking of Tower of Descent into Exile, it is a low-mid catastrophic located in Zone 8, made by 1 Kalia, French in 04, and Pampered Blocks in 36. The namesake of Tower of Descent into Exile comes from the Geometry Dash level that I believe is still on the Demon list. It was confirmed on February 9th, 2023, and released on April 15th of that same year. It is a wacky frame tower where if you fall past floor 4, your run is pretty much over. In terms of sight readability, it is not sight readable at all. You are at catastrophic difficulty, so please practice before you get into real runs. In terms of punishment, it is also pretty punishing, as stated earlier. Falling past floor 4 has the chance to end your run, and the final jump is a 4-stud stick out with insta-kills below. Large choke points in the tower include F9 outside, floor 6, and floor 10. The tower is 10 to 20 minutes, depending if you loop fail floor 8, as it is not too punishing. The hardest floor is either floor 9 or floor 6, and the easiest floor is floor 2. The runs on this tower are typically pretty short compared to the rest of the katas. Towers recommended to do before include Tower of Uncanny Agony, Tower of Augmented Misery, Tower of Generation Failure. Towers to do after include Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns, Tower of Raging Tempest, and Tower of Champions Road. And that is Tower of Descent into Exile. Alright, so this is my hardest and favorite tower in the game, so expect me to yap a lot. I'm gonna go off script for sure. And this tower, if you didn't know already, is Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns, which is a low-mid catastrophic located in Zone 9 made by Hexy. Same guy who made Tower of Alien Radiance. I know Mr. Swan is fuming right now. If you don't know who that is, that was the guy who wrote some of the explanations in the last 3 videos. Yeah, Hexy, he's a good creator, alright? He's not bad. Just because he made Tower of Alien Radiance doesn't mean he's bad. It was added on 12th of October, 2024, along with the release of Zone 9. It is named after the song Empty Meaningless Patterns by Unworn, and it's themed around weirdcore, which is like, I don't know, just weird things, I guess. It has like scrub daddies, random smiley faces, and stuff like that. So, yeah, it is a mixed progression and wacky frame tower. It goes Ascending for floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, floor 4. Actually, I wouldn't say it's ascending. It's more of like side ascend. That's not even a word. Yeah, it's mixed progression. It is known to be, never mind, I already said that. In terms of sight readability, you'll definitely need some practice and strategies for some jumps. So, basically how this works is you could probably sight read up to floor 4 or 5, and then after that, I think you need some practice. Anyways, just practice it beforehand. Please practice it beforehand. I will go into my experience of this tower in a minute. In terms of punishment, your run can only be lost easily on floor 9. That's when you are over the void. And there is a singular jump over an insta-kill on floor 5. Don't be worried about that unless you're me, who freaking failed that like 3 times, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, failing floor 6 will send you back to floor 1, but will not end your run. There is a ton of button progress in this tower. There is some on floor 1, floor 2, not on floor 3, floor 4, floor 5, floor 6, floor 7, and floor 9. There is so much button progress. You have no reason to restart your run. If your run reaches like 10 hours, that's fine. You have so much button progress, alright? What was I going to say? Large choke points in the tower include floor 6 and 9. Again, 6 will not send you into the void, but rather back to floor 1. It is less than 20 minutes in length, but most of the time you will take more than 30 minutes due to the fact that loop failing is pretty common with how much button progress there is, and the fact that you're never going to restart your run because of the button progress. The hardest floors are floors 9 to 10. I believe 10 is harder than 9, but the thing is, 9 is over the void. I'm not considering punishment when saying floor 10 is harder than floor 9. So, yeah, the raw gameplay, I think, of floor 10 is harder. But if you factor in punishment, floor 9 is harder than floor 10. The easiest floors are 2 and 8. 8 and 7, or 7 and 8, yeah, whatever, are netted. You cannot fall on them unless you make a stupid mistake on floor 7, and floor 8 is completely netted. You are completely fine on floor 8. You can take as much time as you want on the time challenges. The floor difficulties are somewhat consistent, I would say. They range from terrifying to mid-cat, I think? Yeah. So let me go over every floor now. Floors 1, 2, and 3 are all just pretty simple. If you fall, okay, you're just going to loop fail. And then floor 4 is this giant thing with the spinner under it that catches you like 95% of the time. And then floor 5 is just longest, hardest floor. It's not hardest, my bad. It's, yeah, it's pretty long, though. It has a lot of button progress, though, which is good. Floor 6 is, pretty much a loop fail floor. Sends you back to floor 1. If you fall, I fell a lot on floor 6. And, yeah, I already went over floor 7, floor 8. Those are the netted floors. And the floor 9 and 10, final stretch, pretty scary. So, yeah. Anyways, towers that I recommend to do before this tower are Tower of Uncanny Agony, Tower of Generation Failure, and Tower Descent to Exile. Towers that we recommend to do after this tower are Tower of Raging Tempest, Tower of Champions Road, and Tower of Elongated Runs. Now let me go over what I did before. I have not done a tower after. This is my hardest, my favorite tower. I'm not doing anything after. Before I did Tower of Alien Radiance. Yeah, that was a pretty big jump. Like, I think it was like an EToH difficulty, like 1.1, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. But yeah, that is Tower of Empty, Meaningless Patterns. Man, I love this tower so much. Tower of Raging Tempest is a mid-high kata tower located in Zone 10 and was made by Izurisu and Chloe. It was added on April 5th, 2025, and is a nerfed remake of Tower of Beryl and Sojourn found in Another's Towers of Stupidity. This is an ascending tower with almost every fail past floor 3 ending your run, similarly to Tower Descent to Exile. It is possible to catch yourself, but falling to 1 is a high likelihood. This makes the punishment for the tower very high, and sight readability is not great either since it relies on janky climb objects and double jumps. The tower is long, being a bit over 20 minutes, but loop failing is possible on floors 6 to 8 and sometimes on floors 9 to 10. It is strongly recommended that you practice 9, 10, and the final stretch because they are the hardest floors and contain 90% of the difficulty in the tower. Floors 1 to 3 are definitely the easiest and get very consistent very fast. I would personally not recommend doing this as a new hardest because of how unbalanced and janky the tower is. That's coming from Von Homie. I have not done this tower. Some towers to do before this include Tower of Descent to Exile and Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns. Tower of Descent to Exile shares the same exact gimmick. Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns having the hardest part before the ending, which is similar to how Tower of Raging Tempest works. Both these skill sets will definitely help you beat this tower. Some towers to do after include Tower of Champions Road and Tower of Cruel Punishment. And that is Tower of Raging Tempest. Oh wait, I forgot. Let me play right here. Here's a Bond Homies fail of the final stretch. I think it was the final stretch or something. But yeah, listen to what he has to say. Ear rape warning.
Actually, the stupidest shit. I fucking hate Chloe. Fuck Chloe. Fuck Chloe's fucking bitch ass,
Yeah, that's
bro.
pretty comical. Tower of Champions Road is a high catastrophic located in Ring 9 and was made by Chloe, Crimsonith, Theodoric, and Doozer. This tower has a very famous last jump fail by Myfrada. This tower is an ascending tower and has a net at floor 6, so runs tend to get very long as the second half of the tower is way harder than the first half. In terms of sight readability, the tower is not sight readable at all, and you would definitely need a practice run of the second half as much as you can. Same with the first half, but the first half is much easier. In terms of punishment, it is actually not too punishing because of the net, but there is barely any gameplay on both sides, so if you fall, you're probably going back to 6 if you are past the net, and if you're already at the net, you are going straight to 1, or likely. The tower is 15 to 999 minutes. Well, you can go longer, but you probably will loop fail. The hardest is floor 8, and the easiest is floor 2. The floor difficulties are consistent. Towers recommended to do before are Tower of Generation Failure, Tower Descendant to Exile, and Tower of Empty Meaningless Patterns. Towers recommended to do after are Tower of Elongated Runs, Tower of Cruel Punishment, and if you want to, you can jump to a low horrific if you want to go that far. And that is Tower of Champions Road. Tower of Elongated Runs is a high peak tower located in Ring 8 made by Sielzolski. It was added on January 25th, 2020. This tower was the first catastrophic tower ever added into EToH. This tower is an ascending tower, and in terms of sight readability, it's not bad because the tower mainly consists of easy and sight readable jumps over an insta-kill half of the time. In terms of punishment, it's pretty punishing. There are a lot of GBJs and insta-kills. Floor 5 is an insta-kill net, so if you fall through, you die. Yeah, you just die. Large choke points in the tower include floor 7 and 9. The tower is 30 minutes in length, hence the name Elongated Runs, and the hardest floor is floor 9. Easiest is definitely floor 1. The floor difficulties are slightly consistent, and before, definitely do Tower of Augmented Misery, Tower of Generation Failure, and Tower of Champions Road. After, do Tower of Cruel Punishment. Okay, I don't know what this tower name. Let me ask him. What is the name of this tower? What is the Tower of Malefic. What the hell? How do you say that? Tower of Malefic I don't know how to say this. Tower of Malefic Nuisances. That's all I can say. Oh, he spelled it wrong. Okay, never mind. And Tower of Watermelon. Yeah, that's pretty much Tower of Elongated Runs. And also the aura you get, not the aura, the trail you get. Dude, I cannot speak. The trail that you get from it is pretty cool. I'll play it on screen right now. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, that's TOER. And now for the hardest tower in EToH. Tower of Cruel Punishment is a peak catastrophic tower located in Ring 9 or Lag-Free Pit of Misery made by Wonkalia. It was added on April 22nd, 2021. You know how we always give fun facts at the start of each explanation? Well, now we're going to give a lot of fun facts, so enjoy this quick history lesson, I guess. This tower is a revamp of an older version of itself located in Ring 3 of another Tower of Stupidity, an EToH fan game. It was under the title Tower of Cruel Punishments and was at insane difficulty. According to the creator, some parts of this tower were inspired by Stone Facility, which was previously confirmed for Ring 9 before it getting deconfirmed. A new version was meant to be made and was meant to be horrific, but it is now abandoned. It has a broken version of Tower of Elongated Run's frame in its win room, possibly as a joke because it was the hardest tower before Tower of Cruel Punishment. And it was the hardest, or not it was, it is the hardest tower that awards a custom cosmetic upon completion, which is the Harbinger of Treachery, right here. This tower's portal has a slightly discolored glow, actually being tinted purple, likely because it is at the top of Catastrophic. And it is the second longest soul crushing in the game, succeeded by Tower of Tiki Time, and there is actually a recent bug where the frame can collide false. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Anyways, on to the explanation. It is an ascending tower. In terms of sight readability, It's the hardest tower in the game. That's all I have to say. Practice! Practice the tower! I don't know why my voice went to that, but alright. In terms of punishment, it's pretty punishing due to the insta-kills. Large choke points include floor 4, floor 7, and floor 10. It is 45 minutes in length, as mentioned earlier, and the hardest is floor 10, easiest is floor 6. The floor difficulties are consistent. Towers that I recommend to do before this tower are Tower of Champions Road, Tower of Elongated Runs, and Tower of Raging Tempest. Towers to do after include Tower of Watermelon, Tower of Malefic Nuisances, and Tower of the Wall. Those are all horrific towers. You have done the hardest tower in EToH if you have beaten this. And that's the series. Every soul-crushing tower in EToH explained. Thank you to Mr. Swan, to Donetta, to McClary, to Kata, and to Bonhomie, and Boyd, and a few others for helping me out with this series. This was like one of the craziest things ever. I have never spent so long editing videos. Like, I know they're not like professionally edited, like Adamir level. Like that guy's crazy. I don't know how the hell he does that. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. And yeah, time to be real, that's probably one of my, like, I'm not gonna say last EToH videos ever, but it's probably one of them because soon I'm gonna be going like inactive due to personal stuff. But yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.